All right. Yeah, exactly. Let's see what happens. Good afternoon, evening, Philip.
Good evening, 7 p.m. Melbourne time.
8 a.m. UK time. All right. What's been going on?
Two things. So networking landed last week, which is really cool. So now the individual conductors can find each other and can actually talk to each other. So Holochain works now,
Yep.
which is awesome. And I spent a bit more time working on the vue-cli plugin that I was building. So now with one line of command, you can build an entire Holochain app from scratch that works. It comes with a conductor admin as well, DNA, everything built in, so that you can, the idea is you'll be able to select like a base project to work from, and then you can configure it and add your own code. So
amazing. Are you showing me, or are you just making a promise?
No. Right, so I'm going to go into, let's see, we keep this, let's all start from scratch. So we'll go to terminal. Now these are all command line at the moment, but the idea is once we've got these command line worked out, I'm going to build a UI, so you'll be able to go like, I'll have that thank you, and that thank you, and please yes, and press the button, and then you'll be able to build and deploy and test your own app. So, so the vue-cli, and we can do vue create a new project. Let's call it Holodex. That's what I'm going to build next. We do preset, and our preset is published on GitHub. So I'll just show you that. So if you go to Holochain, so there's my plugin that I did this morning. Here's the preset. And preset is literally just a JSON file, which tells the vue-cli what to do. So here you can see it's going to install Babel. It's going to make it into a progressive web app. It's going to install the Vue router, Vuex, which is a state management, some linting tools, test tools, and it installs Vuetify, which is the material design bits for Vue, and this bit. This is what I write. So we literally write this. So let me just copy it out of here, actually. So the vue-cli has this way of finding presets. You just have to call them vue-cli-preset, and then whatever your preset is, and then it knows what to do. So we'll now fetch the remote preset. There you go. So this is installing all that Babel and all the bits and pieces in the preset. And then in the plugin that I built, there is now a choice of the simple app, which I think I showed you last time, and now a new one, which is called recursive Kanban. So I built this idea of like a recursive Kanban, so you can make like columns, but you can put columns inside columns inside columns, and then put cards in columns. Right? The idea is like, imagine you've got like your normal Trello board, right? And you're moving your cards around and you've got a card and it's like, well, that's now a really big card.
Yep.
Let's break that down, right? So now you can just like add another Trello board on that card.
Yep.
And break it down. So that way, the idea is that you can have like an organization level view and then right down to individual projects.
Yep.
Right, so here's my plugin. It's asking a choice of simple, which is the simple one I showed you last time, or this recursive cards, which is like a base for Kanban style applications. So we'll select that. And what's really nice about the vue-cli is that you can say, right, I need to install all these dependencies. This is the template that I want you to install. I want you to modify this file. So you can build this plugin to be really, really, really fine-grained for how you want to set up a project. And at the moment, I've only got setting up whole projects, but you can use exactly the same process for adding in like components. So say we've got like this columns and cards Kanban-y kind of based application now. If I wanted to say add in like a messaging app or the chat app or whatever to this application, it do the same thing. So we can just add in some more choices for adding in components into applications as well.
Okay,
cool. So there you go, we're done. This is actually a fully operational app now.
Oh, wow.
So we're going to cd into Holodex.
Yeah.
Now, what we're going to do is there's a couple of other pieces that have been installed. So the conductor, I've installed a conductor with an admin interface as well. So we're just going to install all the dependencies for that. And we've also got the DNA. So we go into the cd DNA and go into tests and do the same thing. We're just going to install the dependencies. And I've put some scripts in the DNA stuff too, so we can go back into there and just go yarn build or yarn test, and it will do all the DNA testing for you as well. So the concept with this was to give developers like a fully operational application as a slice, so they can then go, right, working from here, if I needed to add extra fields or want to add some extra functionality, they only have to do that extra bit, not the whole thing. They have to remake all those decisions of all the learning that we've done over the last couple of years of building Holo apps.
Yep.
So that's all done. So I can literally just do yarn build in here, and this will build the DNA. And because it's the first build, it has to build all the Rust crates and stuff. So this takes a little while. So we'll let that run in the background.
Yep.
And the admin has been run. So I've been using a really cool tool called Foreman, which allows you to run basically multiple terminals, but in one window. So I can start up 4 different websites, the admin website and the conductor, all in one go, like this. Start. Each different color is a different terminal instance, by the way.
Cool. Yeah, so this is running the conductor. It's also running the conductor admin website, so we can do things like add an agent, install the apps, and that sort of thing, and get links to the apps. And it also runs 4 agent websites, because one of the things about Holochain is it's agent centric. So to be able to develop easily with 4 different agents on the one machine is quite important. Yep.
And at the moment, in this particular one I'm showing you here, we're going to install a couple of agents into the one conductor, which didn't quite get it finished in time for tonight, but I've actually got it so I can run 4 different conductors, all with the networking set up on prop. And there's there's some brand new code that Tom put in today or last night, where instead of having to use like a bootstrap server or anything like that for each of the conductors to know where the other ones are, you can install an agent into one and go, right, get that agent info and stick it in another one and stick it in the other one. So now each of your conductors knows where the other ones are and they can communicate without any kind of centralization at all.
Cool.
All right, so this is our admin website. So if we go and browse to that with our Brave ad blocking browser, I'm just going to kill the database that this is running on. Right, so here we have, so I can, so this is running my conductor, which if we went quite to the top of here, you would see conductor ready.
Yeah,
so it's running, running multiple agents and this admin website. And let's go and look how our build is going. Oh, okay, so that's done, right? See how that took 154 seconds the first time?
Yep.
Yeah, 0.2 seconds the second time, right?
Yep.
So the testing build process is really good once you're set up. Right, so that would have created us a zip file of the actual app. What did we call it? Applications Holodex, here we go. So this is this is all the stuff that that template built in for us.
Yep.
If we have a look in DNA, you'll see we've now got this.
Actually, Bill, sorry, just let me pause here. So this is what you were saying earlier is effectively like the representation of the last couple of years of learning how to build Holochain apps. Like we can see all of these different pieces that have now been compiled and like written into this directory.
That's right. Yeah. Yep. So I've been writing web apps as my full-time income since about 1997, and my take on Vue, which is the
web front end that I'm using with the material design stuff, it's by far the best system for building web apps that I've come across, because I'm a developer, not so much a designer and a UX person. But because material design is, this is how you do this thing, right? If you want a button, this is how you do it. If you want to show a dialogue, this is how you do it. I don't have to worry about any of that stuff now. I just go dialogue, please, and put some stuff on it.
Yep.
Which means that you can develop really fast, and things just like they work naturally. It's really nice.
Yep.
So yeah, so that template created us this. So this is all the Vuetify stuff. So it's got like views and all that kind of stuff. It uses the Vuex central state management system, which is what this bit's for. It also uses routing system and this idea of layouts. So you have like a page with a layout, and then you can say, right, in this section, put this in here and put this in here.
Got it.
It makes your code really, really beautiful, well engineered.
Okay.
It also gives you DNA. So in here, it's got this. So this is the DNA for doing entries. So here I've got a card. So this is a recursive system. So and I've got handlers in here, and that's all built. So what we'll do is get the path of this, because I want to install it. So if we go into my admin app, and we'll just update this path here. Not everything's automated yet. What do we call it? Holodex. So now if we go back to my admin website, let's add in a user. Let's call it David. Do I have a picture of you? No. Let's give you a nondescript one. And we'll save that. So now you can see I've got this key thing here. So I can now generate you an agent key. Done. Now that I've generated an agent key, I can now install the application. And these are all the material design icons. So I've used from the material design icons to try and make it as close to what it is. So this actually means application import, so install kind of thing. Press that. Now that's actually installed the application. And not only that, it's given us a link down here.
Yep.
So see the agent key, now it's in the query string.
Yep, I can see that.
And there's also port. So what this does is this will now take me directly to this app where I can use it. And so this page here is important, because if you are if you're not using Holochain and you're using Holo, right, and you go to the website, you won't have an agent key yet.
Yep.
So you will have to, oh, there's a login button. There should be a login button there.
There was last week. It'll come next week.
Yeah, cool. Trust me, it's really there.
Exactly.
And the idea of this page is it kind of gives you somewhere to start from, and you can go in here and customize it to what your application is, but I've used it to explain what to do with this template. Yep. So this gives you a bit of a rundown there. Right. So we go in here. And now we can start doing things. I'll just open up the debug window so you can see what's actually happening. So here you can see we've got this recursive Kanban database. So if we add in a root, so for something like Holodex, what I was thinking of doing is, so we have like Holo Limited as our parent company.
Yep.
And then in here, we want to add in some of the groups. So we've got like growth, which is you and Mary.
Yep. And
we can add in another one called Holochain.
Yep.
Us engineers. And then we have, say, Holo Hosting. Oh, no, just do, oh, actually, no, I'm a special contributor now. So now I have these three columns. Yep. And if we refresh this, you'll see this is in here. And these are, you'll see here that we have an entry hash. And that means that it's gone to Holochain and stored it in Holochain and then brought the entry hash back.
Yep.
All right. Let's get that in. So let's add some people in here. Let's add Mary. Get that out of the way. Have you noticed that no matter where you put the Zoom tools or the videos, they're always in the way?
Yep, I have noticed that.
Right, so I have Mary, and let's add another one. Let's go. And get a new picture. Right. And let's add one into Holochain. Actually, no, we'll do special contributor first because that's me. See, it did it again. It's running away again. There we go. All right. Oh, no, that's in the wrong order. Let's just drag it over here. All right. Put it there. Maybe we should put some of these over here. All that kind of cool stuff. Drag and drop, right? Now, every time I did that, that sends messages back to Holochain and they get saved into there. So how about we go and look and see what happens if we add in another agent? And hopefully this will work this time. Let's make me an agent. Right, so I can do the same thing. Got me some keys, install the app, and now you'll see that I'm going to go to a different port, 4002 or 40,002, and I've got my own agent key. The cell ID is the same because it's the same application, right?
Got it.
And that's how Holochain knows that the information that is in there should be, we're going to share that. Right, so
okay, actually, so just one quick interruption. That's really okay, and maybe this is so. If you go in and then change this Holodex application, the cell ID will change. So even though it's the same Holodex foundation, it's a different cell ID, and therefore, yep. Okay, great. Thanks, Phil.
Right, now I wanted to show you something here. See how this is how long it's taking at the moment, because the first draft of networking, what it does is it doesn't count local agents when it does its like validation and go, you know, so it times out for 2 seconds on every entry.
Yep. So
that's okay, because in a network situation, you would have remote ones, right? So that's what I was working on today. Was the idea was so that I can have 4 conductors running. So each conductor will then have 3 remotes and go, yep, I can put that entry in and it'll be super fast. You can see here, we've now got the same thing.
Yep.
So this is the separate agent. So if I make changes here, they'll show up in the other one, but it takes a little while to happen at the moment.
Got it.
Right, so there you go, 20 minutes, fully operational Holochain application with everything you need to build it and to manage it and to do it.
Yep.
So the nice thing now is that what you can do is go in and like change your code. If we go to the DNA, you can like make a change here, rebuild it, and then go back to your admin, reinstall it, and try out your changes.
Got it.
The really neat thing about this though is that you can then have different agents on different versions of your same application. Because
still communicating.
No, not communicating, because they're different cell IDs now, right? So they won't talk to each other.
Yep.
But you've got, because this is the situation you're going to have, right? As a distributed application, you can't say you have to upgrade. Whereas if you're running like central stuff, you just upgrade your code and everybody doesn't get a choice, right?
Yep.
So this will allow us to like investigate some of those different patterns of like how are people going to, what's actually going to happen when we upgrade a DNA? You know, how are we going to get people to, what's going to happen? You know, how are they going to be notified? Oh, you know, you're on an old version, etc. That kind of stuff. So yeah,
really cool.
What I want to show you this week.
Amazing. All right, thank you so much. Anything else you want anyone to know? Or about what they've just seen?
Yeah, the really neat thing about that is that there's literally millions of Vue developers now, right? So they can all just go Vue, create, preset, Holochain, bang, done. Now they're Holochain adapters, right? And I showed this to a group of developers in Kosovo on Friday, and they were all like, oh, wow, that's like, well, we can actually build Holochain apps now. And it's a real thing. It's not a dodgy white paper that, you know, all that kind of stuff. So because it's real and they can access it now, and there's not that, you know, that stumbling learning that you have when you're trying to do something at the very, very beginning. You don't really have any idea what you're doing. You just kind of go, I want to do this. I have no idea how to get there.
Yep.
This is, here's a nice road for you. Go wherever you like, but this is one road. All right? So you can start from there. That's the idea.
Okay, very cool. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing what's going on in a couple of weeks?
Yeah, we'll have the multi-conductor thing running tomorrow because we've got Elemental Chat all ready and up and ready to go for self-hosted stuff soon. So,
Ace, all right. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Awesome. All right. Thanks, everyone.